I got an interesting idea to try out. See, here's the thing. I got some coffee. I brewed it a couple times and I don't really feel it right now. It's not really gelling with me. My taste buds are not excited. So I thought about how can I really bring this up a notch? How can I really get it to taste the way that I assume that it should? Don't get me wrong, I understand that coffee tastes the way it tastes. So I think one thing that I would like to try is see what ChatGPT gives us. So let's ask ChatGPT to see if it gives us a couple of different recipes with this particular coffee to see if we can taste the greatness of this coffee as it is. So follow me along. Let's go ahead and see what we can get out of this, okay? Let's go ahead and open up the computer. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Are you ready to start?
I'm ready to start. Okay, so I think we talked about this a little bit. We're gonna be talking about seeing if you can help me dial in this coffee.
Great, I'm ready to help. Let's start with what you've tried so far. What were the brewing parameters and your impressions of the coffee from those brews?
Okay, I did pour overs, so a Hario V60, and one of them was a Hario V60 switch. So I let it bloom for about 30 to 60 seconds each time, and the coffee tasted dull. What I used in particular was a Bonavita Virtuoso as a grinder for two of the brews. The other one I used was the EK43, Malconic EK43, and I dialed it in perfectly. It was a 7 on the dial. So you understand what I'm saying so far?
Yes, I'm following you. You used a Hario V60 and a Hario V60 switch for your pour overs. And you've experimented with different grinders, the Bonavita Virtuoso and the EK43. You've noticed that the coffee tasted dull despite adjusting the grind and blooming for 30 to 60 seconds. When you dialed in with the EK43 at a 7 on the dial, it didn't seem to make the coffee more vibrant. Is that correct?
That is totally correct. One other information I do want to give you is that I use a roast right color meter, and and for the whole bean reading, I got an 81. And for the ground coffee reading, I got an 80. So very lightly roasted, even though they said that it's medium roasted.
Thanks for sharing that detail. It sounds like the roast level might be contributing to the dullness you're experiencing. Light roasts can sometimes need a bit more coaxing to bring out those vibrant, juicy notes. Given what you've tried so far, we might consider adjusting the grind size or the brew ratio to see if we can bring out more of those desired flavors. What water temperature have you been using, and have you noticed any differences between the brews with the different grinders?
The brews are more so the same. The temperature was about 190 degrees. I don't know if I need to go higher, lower, or whatnot. And when I did the 7 on the dial for the EK43, from my TDS meter, it said that it was brewed perfectly at a 20% extraction.
Got it. If your TDS readings suggest it was brewed correctly, but the coffee still tasted dull, there might be a couple of things we can try. First, let's consider adjusting the water temperature. Since the coffee is very lightly roasted, it might benefit from a slightly higher temperature, perhaps around 200 to 202 degrees, to help extract more of those bright, juicy flavors. Another thing to experiment with could be the grind size. Even though 7 on the EK43 seemed dialed in, maybe going just a touch finer or coarser could make a difference in the extraction. Sometimes even small adjustments help bring out more complexity. Would you be up for trying a slightly higher temperature and maybe tweaking the grind a bit?
Yeah, I think I will try that. So you're saying, if I understand, at least try one brew or both brews at 202, 205 degrees Fahrenheit. And then also what you're saying is that probably go a little bit finer or a little bit coarser, right? Just kind of play around with it that way.
Exactly. Try starting with one brew at around 202 degrees Fahrenheit and see how that impacts the flavor. If you notice a positive change, you might even push it to 205 degrees for the next brew. Alongside that, experiment with adjusting the grind just slightly finer or coarser, depending on what you think might help extract those vibrant notes. It's all about finding that sweet spot where the coffee opens up and gives you those juicy, lively flavors you're aiming for. Let me know how it goes.
Okay, I still have a couple more questions in particular. Is it okay to use more so like a flat bottom or still use the Hario V60 cone shape?
Great question. The choice between a flat bottom dripper and a cone-shaped one like the Hario V60 can definitely influence your brew. The V60, with its cone shape, generally highlights more clarity and brightness in the cup, which might be what you're looking for if you want to bring out juicy, vibrant notes. Flat bottom drippers, on the other hand, can often lead to a more even extraction and sometimes a fuller body, which could help balance the light roast characteristics. If you're trying to enhance the vibrancy, sticking with the V60 might be the better choice for now. But if you're curious, it could also be worth experimenting with a flat bottom dripper to see if it rounds out the flavors in a way you enjoy. Would you like to try both? Or are you leaning towards sticking with one for now?
I think I'm gonna try both, but also one of the things I didn't mention to you, which really didn't improve the taste of the coffee, was that I use like one of these fast filters. I don't know if you've heard of those, but supposedly what it does is it draws down the water to coffee a lot faster compared to the regular filters. What is your experience with those type of filters? I only used it for a couple of times and I'm still getting used to those.
I'm familiar with fast filters. They're designed to reduce the contact time between water and coffee, which can lead to a cleaner cup with more clarity, but it can also reduce the extraction of some flavors. Since you mentioned the coffee already tasted dull, it's possible that the fast filters might be contributing to that by not allowing enough extraction of the brighter, juicy notes you're looking for. If you're aiming for more vibrancy, you might want to switch back to regular filters for now, as they allow for a longer extraction time. This could help you capture more of those desired flavors. If you're still curious about the fast filters, you could try using them with a slightly finer grind or a higher temperature to see if that offsets the faster drawdown. Do you think you'll stick with the regular filters for now, or do you want to continue experimenting with the fast ones as well?
I think I'll go with the regular filters with the Hario B60 filter, and also probably play around with the flat filters, and then we'll go ahead and play around later with the fast filters. I do like that.
It sounds like you're planning to start with the regular Hario V60 filters and experiment with the flat filters. Then, once you've got a feel for those, you'll revisit the fast filters later on. That sounds like a solid plan to me. Let's see how those adjustments work out and go from there.
One last thing, or a couple of things. I want to give you the notes of the coffee, but I also want to give you what's your understanding of a couple of pours or pulses. Is it does it really matter as much if we do like a one single pour after the 30-second bloom, or if we do like 3 or 4 pours?
When it comes to pour overs, the number of pours or pulses can definitely influence the extraction and ultimately the flavor of the coffee. Here's a quick breakdown. Single pour after bloom. This method is often simpler and can lead to a more consistent extraction, especially if you're aiming for a more straightforward flavor profile. However, it can sometimes result in less control over the flow rate and extraction if you're not careful with your pouring technique, multiple pours or pulses. This method allows for more control over the extraction process. By dividing the water into several pours, you can manage the flow rate more precisely and potentially extract more complexity from the coffee. Multiple pulses also help ensure even saturation of the grounds throughout the brew, which can be beneficial for lighter roasts where you're trying to pull out more nuanced flavors. In general, if you're looking to enhance vibrancy and juiciness, multiple pours might give you the edge in coaxing out those flavors. But if you're experimenting, you might want to try both methods to see which one delivers the taste profile you're aiming for. Feel free to share the tasting notes whenever you're ready, and we can see how they might guide the next steps.
Okay, so from Palette Coffee Roasters, it says that it's easygoing, easy drinking, smooth crowd pleaser. The origin is Peru. The varietal is Yellow Coutura. The process is washed. And what the roaster says it reminds them of is sweet citrus with toffee, papaya, and subtle cocoa.
Thanks for sharing those notes. Given that it's a Peruvian coffee with those tasting notes, the juicy, vibrant flavors you're aiming for should be achievable. The citrus and papaya suggest a natural brightness, while the toffee and cocoa add a smooth sweetness. To enhance those bright, juicy notes, focusing on the techniques we discussed, higher water temperature, possibly finer grind, multiple pours, and sticking with regular filters could help bring out that sweet citrus and papaya more clearly. I'm excited to see how these adjustments work out for you. Let me know how it goes when you get a chance to try them.
Awesome. I think that's a good starting place. I appreciate your help, and we're going to get going. Thank you, and I'll report back later, okay?
Sounds great. I'm glad I could help. I'm looking forward to hearing how it all turns out. Happy brewing, and talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
So I think we have a decent game plan, and I think it's going to help us out to see if we can really truly figure out the things that we're trying to do in this whole experiment. Here's the game plan. I think what I will do to start off with is that I will go finer. So 7 on the EK43. We're going to stick with the EK43. We're going to do probably like a 6.5 or even 6, because I think we get the extraction that we need. So we're pretty much, we're good there. So we're going to do 6.5, and also we're going to do 7.5. We're going to do probably about 202 degrees Fahrenheit. And I think for now, in order to bring out more what ChatGPT has said or recommended, is that we're going to go with 5. Let's go with 5. Let's go with 5 pulses, and we're not going to go over the amount that we so whatever the bed is, we're just going to go just slightly above that, and however many pulses that take, and that's the way that we're going to roll with it. Okay, I didn't mention to the assistant too about the ratio. I use a 1:15 ratio, so that's the ratio I like, so that's the one I'm going to go with. We may ask ChatGPT later on, letting them know, it's like, hey, we did a 1:15. How big of a difference does it really make if we play around with different concentrations or different coffee to water ratio? So that's the game plan. That's what we're going to be doing probably in the next couple of these, and then we're going to see if we can make this coffee taste better. I'm not ragging on these people at all. I think for the most part, initially it's fine, but you go through this all the time. You buy a bag of coffee all the time. So at the end of the day, we're just trying to make it better. We're just trying to see if we can figure out this coffee a little bit more, and to also enjoy it for what it is. So that's what I got for you. These are the things that we're going to be doing, and stay tuned. Talk to you later. Bye.